I want to start by asking you some stuff that you've been talking about on social media. Kevin O'Leary and those on the far right that are slamming Michelle Obama because she's not going to be attending the inauguration, which I think is just completely absurd. What would you say to people like Kevin O'Leary?
Screw yourself. This isn't hard, Brian. I believe this is new Trump rule number 19,745. Trump supporters have forfeited their right to ever again call any Democrat a sore loser. Not after 2020. I mean, the biggest sore loser in the history of humanity is Donald Trump, the only candidate for president who lost and didn't concede and refused to participate in any of the peaceful transfer of power. So Trump supporters no longer have a right to call Democrats sore losers.
Where were all these people, Joe, when Donald Trump and Melania didn't attend the inauguration in 2020? Do they all have Alzheimer's? Do they forget?
Brian, it's like everything. I think new Trump rule number 14,223 is Democrats can never, ever complain again about it. Trump supporters can never again complain about a Democrat lying because Trump supporters support someone who lies every time he opens his mouth. You and I have fun with this, but the truth is Donald Trump refused to accept the results of an election, didn't go to any inauguration or anything. So screw them. They have no right to complain about anybody.
Joe, I agree with you. I wish you were one of those people on Capitol Hill questioning Pam Bondi or Pete Hegseth. I thought the Democrats did a lousy job. Let me start with Pam Bondi. She won't answer the question who won the 2020 election. Nobody's more passionate than you are about truth and respecting our democracy. Why wouldn't they continue to press her on that? She's going to be the next attorney general. She won't even say Trump lost.
It's disqualifying. Brian, this drives me freaking batty. If I were a Democratic senator, I would have asked that question. Miss Bondi, who won the 2020 election? And when she didn't answer, I would have asked her again. And I would have asked her again. I would have asked her 77 straight times. I would not have moved on to another question because if you can't answer that, you are disqualified. And Brian, every one of Trump's cabinet picks refused to answer that question. Democrats are so not rising to this moment. It pisses me off.
And it pisses me off as well. And I wish, am I wrong in putting some criticism on Democrats? I didn't think they were strong enough. I thought they did a lousy job with Pam Bondi. I thought that they did, for the most part, a lousy job with Pete Hegseth.
I have not. Well, you're right, Brian. I haven't seen one Democratic senator do a good job with any of these nominees. And again, if you believe, like I believe, that Trump picked Pam Bondi to destroy the Justice Department, Trump picked Kash Patel to destroy the FBI, and on down the line, then you've got to rise to that occasion.
Yeah.
We're talking about these institutions you've got to defend.
Yeah, I agree. If you're just joining us, former presidential candidate, former Congressman Joe Walsh. Joe, let's go. Yeah.
Brian, I am this close to becoming a Democrat just to freaking show Democrats how to fight.
You know what? I wish you were. We might not agree on everything, and Democrats might not agree with you on everything, but you have that fire. You know, it's interesting because Jasmine Crockett's going to be coming on the show next week. I look at her, and I look at AOC, and I look at, some others like the Swalwells of the world. You might not agree with them on everything policy-wise, but you have to admit they have fire. They have passion. And so many of these Democrats on Capitol Hill today do not.
Amen, amen, amen. They're far to the left of me, but they are left-wing populist fighters. We need Democrats who are left-wing populist fighters and centrist populist fighters and everything in between.
Yeah, I agree. Joe, what do you make of Mike Johnson and other Republicans claiming that they might be withholding money to the California wildfire victims? They want stipulations. I just think this is so despicable, and they're playing politics with people's lives. What are your thoughts on this?
Un-American, cruel, divisive, but un-American. but should be a surprise to no one because this is what Donald Trump said. Look, this is, again, Democrats, wake up. This is what the Republican Party is now. This is, Trump said the same damn thing. They're all falling in line. So we're at a point now where even life and death relief assistance is going to depend on who you voted for. You want to live in that kind of country? You want to live in that kind of country? Then vote for Donald Trump. I mean, my God, this is so easy, Brian, for Democrats to go berserk about.
Agree. If you had a vote, Joe, would you vote against getting rid of TikTok, or do you think it really is truly a national security threat?
Well, I believe there are security issues, but I do not believe TikTok should be banned. I tend to agree with my former friend Rand Paul and others. This is a freedom issue. It's a First Amendment issue. I worry about every social media platform when it comes to your security and my security. But no, I do not believe TikTok should be banned.
I agree with you. Joe, another quick topic I want to discuss with you. I think we agree on this one. We both respect Jim Acosta. I think he's one of the best that CNN has. And now there are rumors circulating that they're going to be pushing him to midnight. And I say to myself, he should be in prime time. I think he's better than most of the people at CNN. And quite frankly, most people in the country when it comes to reporting honest and fairly. What are your thoughts on this, and why is CNN doing this?
Acosta is a friend. He and I communicate often. I love going on his show. He's a principled, independent voice. He'll call balls and strikes. His ratings are really strong. CNN, shame on you. Just because the president-elect is way too easily offended. The fear here, Brian, is that this guy who's going to be sworn in on Monday, who's told the world he wants to be an authoritarian, and now we have our free press, free media bending at his knee. Oh, this would be despicable, CNN.
I agree. And I love your appearances on CNN. I think there's a lot of wonderful people at CNN. I think there's some bad people too. And Jim's great. And I just think this is awful. Will you even be watching the inauguration? I'm curious.
Yes and no. By the way, Brian, look, I have no doubt that Trump and his people have told CNN, here's our wish list, right? Move Acosta to midnight, and they probably had two other wishes. And if you don't do that, we're going to limit access to you, CNN. I know that the Trump White House to be is doing stuff like that. My God, if I were CNN, I'd expose that crap instead of quaking in front of it. I don't know what I'll do with the inauguration. It's going to be a bad day.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough day for a lot of people, no doubt about it. Joe, I love your podcast, The Social Contract. What do you have coming up on your podcast? Any special guest you want to share with us?
I'll share this. A great conversation yesterday with a guy I fundamentally disagree in, a young black progressive, about the issue of genocide. We disagree completely, but we had a really, really cool conversation. Check it out.
I will check that out. Joe, you're the best, my friend. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Always good to catch up with you, and stay safe, okay?